Welcome back. So time to move on and time to build our Navbar component. Okay. So as you can see, I went ahead and created the Navbar component inside the components folder. So you have to do the same and then code along. Okay. As you can tell, I went ahead and added a bit of code. Okay. I'm not going to bother explaining you this much for two reasons. The chatbot is the core of this tutorial, and you also can check what the code is doing in a very easy way if you're using Cursor text editor like me. So for example, I added this use effect, and let's assume that you do not understand what this code is doing. So you can use the chat and ask anything. You can ask, what is this code doing? Press enter. So it's gonna come up with an answer after checking several sources and explains you what the code is doing. Okay, so you can use Cursor to basically answer to your own doubts. Okay, that's a way for you to improve your coding skills. So now that we have this part done, let's focus on building the UI. Okay, let's now focus on building the UI. So I'm gonna start styling this outer div, of course. And the first thing that I want to use is my custom Navbar class. And this is not being used inside globals. Okay, this is the class that we are using here to select a part of the UI. So basically what we are doing is when the user scrolls up and down, we want to change the background color. So that's the goal. So if you remember, I showed you this earlier, but if you do not remember, you can always go back and check the previous videos, or you will see when this is done, I will show you how this is working. So this is where this Navbar class is coming, okay? So next, I want to keep this div always fixed to the top. So top 0, the z index of 50. So it's the highest z index. So the content goes underneath. Then I want to give a background color of black, okay? The text must be white, so it's readable, of course. I'm gonna add the transition colors class also, and the duration of 500. Okay, so in here, inside this div, where we are going to really start developing our nav bar. Okay, so, and our nav will contain two main things: an a UL, and another div. So this is just the basic setup. So we see where we are at. So this nav tag needs to be styled. So flex for flexbox, of course. Items, I want to put them in the center. I want to justify between, in this case, not center. Padding X of 10 and a padding vertical, so vertical padding Y of 5, okay? And I'm gonna style this UL right away using flexbox one more time. The width, I want it to be full. This time I want my items to be in the center. I want to use a gap of 10, okay, because this is where we'll put all of the links, okay? The text, it's gonna be XS actually. The font can be something like semi-bold, but on MD breakpoint onwards, I want to change the text size to LG. And I also want to change the text size on the LG breakpoint actually, so to XL. So basically the text size starts like this. On MD it's this, on LG it's this. This is super simple, so let's not spend much time on this. This last div by definition is hidden, so you do not see it on smaller screens. And the reason is because we sometimes do not have much space inside the navbar, so we hide things on a smaller screens, and then on medium size to larger sizes we display them. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna display, I want to justify this content, so justify self, let me see, to the end, justify self to the end, exactly. And on LG I'm gonna use flexbox, okay, to make it visible, to display it, okay. So inside of the UL, of course, it's just a bunch of links. So I'm just gonna copy paste them. Okay, this is super simple, and boom. And I'm gonna use my format document. Okay, link to the home page, to the iPhone and Mac, iPhone and Apple Watch, and iPhone and AirPods. Remember, these pages are already built. We have developed these pages in the earlier videos. So if you do not know about it, just check the full playlist so you start right at the beginning of this project. Okay, so all good. And inside this div, this is the div that is going to make the content visible only on larger screens. And I want to include basically a link. Okay, I'm gonna one more time format the content. So this is it. This is what you end up with. So let's see how this is changing everything. Well, in fact, this is not changing anything inside of our UI. And do you know why? Of course, that's because we have not yet used this component, this navbar component, anywhere. So we need to use it in order to be able to see it and use it to navigate between pages. So let's do that right away. So just as usual, we want to use our navbar component inside our layout component. This means that we include this component once inside the layout, and because this is the root layout, our navbar component will be available in every single page of our application, and that's exactly what we are looking for. So the first thing to do is to import, of course. So I want to import my navbar, if I can spell it right, but it's over here. Nice suggestion, saving me. So, and then right before my children, I want to include my navbar component. Boom, and save. And this should now display the navbar. So this is the tutorial one, exactly. So this is the correct tab. As you can tell, you do have it, and you can navigate between pages. And if you scroll down, this is the effect that I was telling you about in the beginning of this video. Okay, when the user scrolls down, sees this. Okay, let's continue.